These are 10 of Homer and Bart's worst moments. The second segment of Treehouse of Horror 22, dialed D for Diddley, opens with Ned Flanders talking about Springfield and how it's become more and more of a dump.
All these years I thought murder was a sin. Then I got new instructions from the good Lord himself.
That doesn't sound very likely. Ned got instructions from God to kill Mr. Burns, and
pee in his ashes.
Are you sure, Lord?
If you're having trouble with the second part, drink a lot of water.
That doesn't sound like something God would say. When he finished with Mr. Burns, God asked him to kill Patty and Selma. Ned said that he knows that they smoke and
they don't shave much of anything, but do they deserve to die?
Do not question me, the star of the Bible.
I know someone who doesn't need a good reason to kill Patty and Selma.
Now, on a non-murder related note, I want you to find out what's making that funny noise in Homer Simpson's car.
Yep, that's Homer. Marge came into the room and showed Homer the newspaper with all of his enemies mysteriously dying.
You forgot Patty and Selma? Oh, wait, it hasn't happened yet.
Not suspicious at all, Homer. Ned set up a trap to kill Patty and Selma. He left cigarettes on the side of the road and then crushed them with a boulder. The next assignment Homer had for him was,
okay, stupid Flanders. First, I want you to kill that guy at the ice cream parlor who gave Homer Simpson a cone.
How is he not catching on to this? Bart walked into the room and Homer asked him if he wanted Flanders to kill anyone for him. Bart says that there is this tall boy in class and he can't see the board, so...
And I saith unto you, slay every tall boy in town.
Very good example you're setting there, Homer. Then Ned walked into the room and realized what was happening.
You made a killer out of me.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it?
Well, what do you think? Ned says he's gonna kill them, of course.
Because of you, I'm going to hell.
Language?
Hell, damn, backside. Nothing matters anymore.
Backside? That isn't much of a curse word. Homer told Ned to wake up already because...
there is no hell, and there is no God. If there were, would he let me do this?
No, I don't think he would.
Why, you little...
So God just killed Homer.
What happened?
Flanders killed Homer.
Isn't there a commandment that says not to lie, huh? Marge says that he is God and he should be able to make everything the way it was.
Well, I could, but the big man downstairs wouldn't like it.
Okay, so now we know who's in charge of God.
Could this get any worse?
Honey, come back to bed.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, I always guessed Maude was a bit nasty. This wasn't the only time Homer and Bart were partners in crime. Homer and Bart team up to pull a prank on Skinner. Yellow Subterfuge starts with Skinner announcing to the school that a few kids will be selected to go on a submarine trip.
Only the best behaved students, as determined by me, will go on the trip.
That would be fair if he wasn't the one selecting them. Skinner said that everyone starts with a clean slate, but from this moment on,
I am the law. I hold the red pen.
He really has some ego problems. Bart decides to be on his best behavior so he could go on that trip, but not even his family believes he can do it.
You're all wrong. I didn't say anything. Were you thinking it? Yes.
Well, that about does it. Lisa told them he already did so much bad stuff, there's no way Skinner's gonna let him go.
No, Skinner said I had a clean slate, so right now I'm as good as any other kid.
That's really mean for no reason. How about a little support? The power really got to Skinner's head and he crossed kids off the list for basically anything and everything. But nonetheless, Bart managed to go 5 days without pranking Skinner. And he's gonna make it, but then Otto's bus breaks down and he realizes he's going to be late for school. Bart runs out of the bus and tries to get a cab, but Milhouse jumps in before him, the little weasel. Then Otto fixes the bus, but Bart doesn't manage to get on. Somehow, he gets inside the school before the bell rang, but...
Muddy footprints on the school floor. I've broken a 10-year-old spirit.
No wonder his mother hates him. Bart does everything to get on Skinner's good side. He even tells him he could be the turning point in his life.
What do you think? Can I go on that sub?
Sorry, Simpson. Take her down.
He's not sorry one bit. Homer came to pick Bart up and Bart told him what happened. Bart told Homer he knows that a kid should never turn to his father, but he has nowhere else to go.
As I always say, don't get mad, get dinner. Then get even with Skinner.
Oh, Skinner's going down. The next morning, Skinner woke up and saw that his mother was stabbed to death. And before he could do anything, someone came knocking on his door. It was Homer and Bart noticed that Skinner's rug was bleeding.
I woke up and, surprisingly, Mother wasn't there beside me. She was dead.
There are so many parts in that sentence that need explaining. Homer said he'll handle the situation and Skinner should just go upstairs until it's finished.
The deed is done.
Oh, I wish you'd asked me before you...
Look, you kill him, I get rid of him.
Seems like a fair deal. Homer and Bart tell Skinner that he has to start a new life because he'll be hunted and on the run.
Seymour, the cops are on their way.
Oh, they thought of everything.
Here's a bus ticket to Juarez and your fake ID.
I just know that name was made up by both of them. Homer and Bart watch Skinner get on the bus and leave, and Bart thanks Homer for sticking up for him.
Someday I may have to fake my own death, and maybe you can help me with that.
Sure, Dad.
Such a healthy relationship. But a few days later, Skinner came back and he said he accepts that he killed his mother.
My whole life she's belittled me. Maybe deep down, I'm glad.
Oh, he's gonna get whooped. Agnes comes out and tells him that now that she's heard that he's glad she's dead...
Now I'm gonna be meaner to you than ever.
How is that possible?
I've stopped taking those pills that keep me nice.
But they didn't always enjoy such a good alliance. Marge sends Homer and Bart to a week at sea to work out their problems. The wreck of the relationship starts with Homer walking into Bart's room and realizing how dirty it is. So he tells him that he needs to clean it.
I'll get to it when I get to it.
That better not mean what it means when I say it.
Well, Homer, now you know how it feels. Homer tells Marge that Bart doesn't have any respect for his authority whatsoever, and Marge tells him that maybe they're more similar than he'd like to admit. Homer says that he will deal with Bart from now on. So at lunch, Bart didn't want to eat his broccoli, even though Marge told him to, and Homer told him to listen to his mother. Bart didn't care for what Homer said, so Homer insisted that he won't leave the table until he eats it. Bart told Homer he could never outsit him.
You think your skinny butt can sit on that hard wooden chair longer than El Gordo?
We really don't need to see that. They sit at the table for the whole night, but Marge said that there's no way they're gonna waste a whole Saturday inside. Then Lenny called Homer because their fantasy football is about to start, but Homer was adamant about not leaving the table, and God forbid he lets Bart win, so...
Marge, I want you, my wife, to draft my fantasy football team.
Oh, he's serious. This goes on for another day, and Lisa comes up with a plan. She takes the broccoli and makes 2 smoothies, and there's no way of knowing which one she put the broccoli in. Homer says that this works for him, but Bart won't do it, so he spills both smoothies.
You did that on purpose! You licked this table clean! Come on, lick it!
This is never gonna end, is it? Marge realizes that Homer and Bart's problems are beyond her power to solve, so she thinks of the only thing left to try. They get kidnapped in the middle of the night and wake up on a ship in the middle of the ocean. The captain introduces himself and explains that they've been signed up for a week at the sea, where they'll solve their problems. But on his first day, Homer got sick, so he spent the next few days getting better, while Bart mastered everything there is to know about sailing a ship. After he got better, Homer realized that Bart has been enjoying this trip.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
So what if I am?
You're my son and you will hate what I hate.
That's not very healthy. Bart told him that he's old enough to choose the things he likes and hates, and he likes being a sailor. By the end of their trip, the captain awarded Bart with the post of midshipman, which means he can give orders now.
I'm his father. He can't order me around.
I'm sorry we had to discipline you.
Oh, Homer. So humiliating. The next day, Bart was giving out orders, and he saw that Homer wasn't cleaning the deck. But...
just gonna get dirty again.
Now, who does that remind me of? That night, the captain and Bart were talking, and Bart told him it was really hard for him when Homer didn't respect his authority. But the captain said that Homer has surely been doing some growing and learning of his own. But Homer was doing everything but growing. He got drunk, and the captain took his flask and started telling him how he quit drinking because he's a recovering alcoholic.
No longer crave the sweet, warm, soothing flavors of yummy...
So, Homer, how do you feel knowing you made a man relapse? To make matters worse, a storm hit them, and Bart was the only one capable of doing anything, but Homer wouldn't listen to him.
Can't you just do what I say?
You've never done what I say, ever!
How did that broccoli survive 7 days at sea? Bart ate the broccoli, and Homer said,
"Awaiting your orders, Mr. Midshipman!"
Finally, some mutual respect. But it didn't last long. Homer gets jealous of Ned and Bart spending time together. Better Off Ned opens with Bart pulling a devious prank at school, making everyone think he set off a grenade. Everyone ran except Ned Flanders, who jumped on the grenade to save everyone.
You monster! You had me finally believing the school would be destroyed, and you took it away.
That's what you're mad about? Chalmers and Skinner want to expel Bart, but Marge is begging them not to, because no one will take him then. And just as they're about to do so, Ned says that he's known Bart for a long time and he knows there's good in him. He asks to work with Bart after school.
I'll improve him with the 3 P's: persistence, prayer, and persistent prayer.
Oh, God, you're one of those.
Why do I get the feeling that Chalmers hates Ned? Chalmers says they won't expel Bart, but only if
you supervise this boy, keeping him away from the baleful presence of his father. Woo!
Homer, maybe you shouldn't be celebrating like that in public. Ned starts spending time with Bart, and it really proves itself to be somewhat beneficial. Or so it seemed. Bart and Ned were washing dishes, and Ned asked Bart if he found it meditating. And Bart said he does feel at peace. But then he said he cut himself, and
I can make that real blood, you little punk. What I meant to say was oodly doodly.
The non-religious Ned almost slipped out. Then Ned took Bart fishing, and Bart was fussy the whole time and complaining. But Ned told him that if they didn't catch anything, they won't be eating tonight.
Stupid fishing, stupid peace and quiet. Stupid sunset thinks it has so many colors.
But then Bart caught a fish, and Ned taught him how to start a fire.
Oh, my hands hurt. There are child labor laws, you know. This is the most idiotic. Ay, caramba!
Boy, Ned sure is a good role model. Homer should look up to him sometime. Ned asked Bart how he felt, and Bart said, good, but he didn't understand why.
Well, it's called accomplishment, son. Something you've earned yourself that can never be taken from you.
Everyone in the town was surprised to see how Bart's changed, and they all congratulated Flanders on it.
Hey, you can't give them all the credit. We're the ones who messed him up in the first place.
That's not something you should be proud of, Homer. Homer realized that he was completely useless in Bart's life, so when he saw Nelson crying and realized that he can't possibly mess him up more, he could help him.
Which I could use to get back at Bart.
Now, Homer, I know you're not really a religious man, but that's really bad.
Is it wrong to take advantage of one child's feelings to make another child feel bad?
Yes, as simple as that. Yes, it's wrong. So Nelson and Homer start spending time together, and Homer made sure to notify Bart as soon as possible.
Me and Nelson are so close, people are calling us Homson. Homson away!
Poor Bart. It's not his fault Homer can't help him, for the love of God. Nelson's mom caught on to what Homer was doing, and she showed him all the men that left Nelson in his life.
Sooner or later, you're gonna leave him like all the rest. And it'll break his heart.
Well, gee, Mom of the Year, how about you do something about that? Homer confesses everything to Nelson, and Nelson has a breakdown.
I can't make you stay, but I can take it out on your kid.
Not Bart! I do love him!
Don't add salt to the wound, Jesus. Nelson goes to the Christian Pride Parade. Why, you may ask? Bart was in it. I know, shocker.
He's gonna crush Bart! Where's Flanders now?
Now you call out to him. Homer jumps and pushes Bart out of the way so the giant hands don't crush him.
Son, you wanna ride in the ambulance together?
Aw, that's always been our thing.
The two of them have a lot of special activities together. Like when Homer and Bart connected over cheating in sports together. Do the Wrong Thing starts with Homer winning a fishing contest, which made Abe really proud.
I've never won anything before. What do I do?
Aw, that's really precious. But when Homer went to gut the fish, marbles came out of it.
How did my slingshot marbles get in there?
You added weight to my fish? With marbles?
Bart said he couldn't help it, and he couldn't watch Homer lose the competition, so Homer didn't actually win at all.
Oh, my gorgeous boy, I've never loved you more!
Well, that was unexpected. The next day, Homer took Bart out of school under the excuse that he needed to take him to the doctor. But instead, they went to a rock skipping competition.
How do we cheat at rock skipping?
I don't know. Making a plan to cheat in advance felt dishonest.
Yes, that's the dishonest part. Homer and Bart cheat, and Homer wins first prize with 46 skips.
This is what we do it for. The cheater's high.
Great example you're setting here, Homer. Bart told Homer that all the times he cheated on stuff before, he kinda always felt bad. But cheating with him felt so right.
Can we do it one more time?
Son, we're never gonna stop doing it.
Have you heard of morals? Homer and Bart enter in a bunch of competitions, and they cheat in all of them, which wins them a lot of prizes.
I finally get why some dudes become dads on purpose. This has been the best week of my life.
I mean, it is kind of sweet, but still. Marge and Lisa got suspicious about all the stuff Homer and Bart have been winning, and Marge confronted Homer about it.
Homer, we need to talk.
I like when we talk. I don't like when we need to talk.
Well, nobody likes that. Homer says he can't lie to Marge, so he tells her the truth, to which she objects, because there sure are better ways to bond with Bart.
Marge, you're always saying you want our kids to succeed. Then maybe not cheating is cheating them.
That sure gives you something to think about. All this time, Lisa was trying to get into a summer camp, and a woman came by to let her know she got in and she can't wait to have her in the rowing team. This confused Lisa, so when she went to check her application, she saw that someone put doctored photos in.
You cheated. For me!
What? No, I didn't.
That bad Photoshop reveals a lot. Bart told Lisa that it wasn't them because...
Why would we help someone who's already good at things?
He makes a good point. Lisa reveals in front of everyone that Homer is a cheater, and of course they get mad, so the family escapes and hides behind a billboard. Lisa still demanded to know who put doctored photos in her application, and Marge confessed she was the one.
Dad, we ruined Mom!
No! No!
Can't face the consequences of your own actions? Marge told Homer he showed her how to cheat.
If you want your kids to succeed, then not cheating is cheating them.
Oh, that's a blow that'll be hard to recover from. Homer and Bart realize they've made a terrible mistake, and they decide to make it better. They vow to never, ever bond again.
Promise me this is the last time we hug.
I swear, Dad, I swear.
Maybe that's a bit too much. But there were times when Homer was uncomfortable sharing hugs, or even handshakes, with his son. Homer is afraid that Bart might be gay, so he wants to set him straight. Homer's phobia opens with the family having financial problems, and Marge says that she's going to sell her grandma's Civil War doll. They go to a pawn shop, and Marge asks the man working there how much could they get for it, and he tells them that it's just a liquor bottle. Homer points out that maybe the figurine is just junk, but the man sells all sorts of stupid stuff.
$50 for a toy? No kid is worth that.
Gee, Homer, could you maybe show the love you have for your kids sometime? Homer tells John that he should come over to their house to see if anything they have can be sold, because in Homer's words,
it's full of valuable, worthless crap.
Well, if you're inviting me over...
I practically insist.
Wow, Homer showing manners? Weird. John comes over and he's infatuated with the Simpsons' house.
Oh, and pearls on a little girl. It's a fairy tale.
I think we all see where this is going. John loves absolutely everything, even the corn curtains in the kitchen. Homer asked him if he found anything that has any worth, and John told him that everything in this house can be considered camp.
You yourself are worth a bundle, Homer. Why, I could wrap a bow around you and slap on a price tag.
That John sure is a charmer. The next morning, Homer told Marge how much he liked John, and he said that they should invite him and his wife over for dinner. Marge told him that she doesn't think John is married, and Homer says that they can set him up with a nice lady.
He prefers the company of men.
Who doesn't?
He's just completely clueless.
Homer, listen carefully. John is a ho-mo
right?
Sexual.
And he lost it. Homer can't believe he danced with a gay man, much less that he invited him to his house. Marge told him that he's being ridiculous, and she and the kids are going out with John today. Homer says he won't go, not because John is gay, but because he's a sneak.
He should at least have the good taste to mince around and let everyone know that he's that way.
Marge was confused just as much as we are right about now.
You know me, Marge. I like my beer cold, my TV loud, and my homosexuals flaming.
Well, that's stereotypical, don't you think? Homer starts getting worried that Bart might turn gay because of John.
I hope you realize this is all your fault. I mean, do you have to be so effeminate around a boy?
Does he mean feminine? Homer decides to take Bart out and set him straight. Literally.
Son, whatever happens, I'll always love you. As a father! A father! Regular father!
Jesus, Homer, don't you think you're taking it too far? Homer puts up a chair for Bart in front of a billboard with half-naked girls, and after 2 hours he comes back and asks him how does he feel. Bart says he feels like he wants a cigarette.
That's a good start. Let's get you a pack. What's your brand?
Anything slim.
Well, if he isn't gay, he is a smoker now. Homer takes Bart to a steel mill to see where and how the real men do the work. But then...
Dad, why did you bring me to a gay steel mill?
I don't know. This is a nightmare!
Homer says that his son doesn't stand a chance and that the whole world has gone gay.
Oh my God, what's happening now?
We work hard. We play hard.
I fear Homer's head might explode. Homer talks to Moe and Barney. You know, who better for advice? And they tell him that he should take Bart hunting.
All the diet sodas in the world won't turn him back. Then you just sit back and watch the grandkids roll in.
Poor Bart, he's surrounded by nutcases. Homer tells Marge she's going to be taking Bart hunting, and she tells him,
You never went hunting before, and you're perfectly straight.
Oh, yeah? How long since you've had a baby?
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with being gay or straight. I'd look at the power plant for that. The three of them take Bart deer hunting, and Mo asks him if he's ever been hunting before.
Nope. Something about a bunch of guys alone together in the woods. Seems kind of gay.
Now we're talking. But I guess nobody informed them that there weren't any deer in Springfield. So they pack up and go, but then Mo sees a sign for some Christmas reindeer holding facility or something. And Homer takes Bart there to shoot a reindeer.
Bart, I'm gonna turn my back, and when I turn around, I want to see a whole pile of dead reindeer.
They turn around and hear something that sounded like a gunshot, but Bart didn't shoot anything.
Hey, they're going nuts, like in those nature films!
The reindeer started attacking them, and Homer picks up Bart and lets them slam into him. But then someone came to save them.
It's a miracle!
No, Ultra Suede is a miracle. This is just good timing.
The gays to the rescue. As they were driving back, Homer told Bart that any way he chooses to live is fine with him, which made Bart confused.
He thinks you're gay. He thinks I'm gay?
Maybe if they spent more time together, Homer wouldn't have anything to worry about. Good thing they were forced to when Bart and Homer got a court order to be tied together until they work out their problems. The parent rap starts with Bart and Milhouse hijacking Chief Wiggum's car, and although Milhouse went free, Bart didn't have the same luck. The judge saw that Homer was driving Bart to school and left him unsupervised, so she decided to go with the worst punishment there is.
I hereby order you to be tethered to your son.
They'll kill each other before lunch. This meant that Homer is now going to school with Bart, and they're spending every waking moment together. But on the bright side, they really got to know each other better. The new judge got popular quickly, but not for good reasons.
There's a new judge in town with a hard-nosed approach to juvenile crime. Punish the parents.
Isn't that how it should be? Homer and Marge don't really like this approach because they think of themselves as good parents.
Well, you can tell she's never had kids. Look how high and firm her breasts are.
Now, let's not judge. That night, Homer and Marge are getting some alone time, but they weren't really alone.
Would you mind? I'm trying to do my homework.
Now that's just disgusting. Homer tried to solve this problem by putting a blanket over Bart's head, but Marge told them they can't do it.
I don't want them to see us expressing our love.
Why not? Kids are very visual these days.
He can't seriously think that's okay. Bart told Homer to lay off Marge because she said no, so they start fighting.
What'd you do that for?
Because oh, you...
Ah!
This is getting really hard to watch. Bart started spanking Homer with the rope, and I can't express this enough, but I want this scene to end.
That really hurt.
I can't take it anymore!
Now, how are they going to explain that to the judge? Homer starts celebrating his freedom, but then the judge shows up in the fiber of the rope.
Don't be mad at Homer. I was the one who cut the rope.
Are you threatening me with that knife?
Yeah, Marge, you look kind of psycho. Homer says it's his fault because he was pressuring Marge to do it in front of Bart. He just dug himself even deeper. At trial, the judge started by saying she thought Homer was the problem, but Mom isn't a prized pig either.
It's a miracle poor Bartholomew isn't robbing banks and chasing Sweet Lady H.
Hey, he's not a saint himself. The judge asks for Homer and Marge to admit they're bad parents, which Homer does, no questions asked.
You're so busy thinking up crazy ways to punish people, you can't see how much I love my kids.
Poor Marge got dragged into this because of her husband and son's crazy behaviors. But this only earns them an even worse punishment.
Sorry.
Just let me get... Ow!
I don't want to imagine how they do anything else. Homer tells Marge that they could get out of this if she admits she's a bad mom, but Marge tells him she can't do that, and that it's a matter of principle. Homer agrees, and they decide to stand up to the bully judge.
I want goggles too!
Not only are they breaking their punishment, they're also in Flanders' garage using his machines. Then it was time for Operation Judge Get Back At.
If that costume shop knew we were using these burglar outfits for real, they'd be furious.
You're telling me you don't own anything in black? They get to the judge's house, but it's not a house, it's a boat. They put up a sign that says she's a meanie, because that'll show her. But she wakes up.
She's gonna find us.
Oh, Lord. Guide this cinder block.
Homer, no!
I don't know which outcome is worse, killing her or not killing her. The judge tells them that she's gonna be locking them up indefinitely, and Bart finally stands up to say something. He says it's not easy being his parent. He's always having problems at school and getting in trouble with the law.
But if I grew up to be a halfway decent person, I know it'll be because of my mom and dad.
Aw, that's actually really sweet. But the judge doesn't care for that. And just as she was about to give her verdict, the other judge came back from his vacation, and he usurped her place.
Judge Snyder, motion to declare a writ of boys will be boys.
Motion granted. Case dismissed.
And that's the justice system for you. From an enabler to full-on pushing Bart to commit crimes with him, Homer has done it all. The B plot of the episode focuses on Homer and Bart stealing sugar from Hans Mole Man. Lisa's rival starts with Homer and Bart driving home when they stumble upon a turned truck with sugar spilled all over the street. Homer pulls over and gives Hans Mole Man a quarter to call for help while he guards the sugar.
If only the sugar were as sweet as you, sir.
Homer, that was downright decent of you.
Don't get your hopes up too fast, Bart. Homer tells Bart that they hit a jackpot.
White gold, Texas tea, sweetener.
Bart asks Homer if what he's doing is stealing, and Homer explains to him that
if foodstuffs should touch the ground, said foodstuff shall be turned over to the village idiot.
Homer tells Bart to start shoveling as he doesn't see the village idiot around. Really? You don't see him. Later, as the family was eating, Marge asked Homer what he put in the food because it tasted a little strange.
It hurts my teeth.
That's because I've loaded it with sugar!
Isn't dinner supposed to be salty? Homer tells Marge that her ship has finally come in. He found 500 pounds of sugar, and that he's going to sell it directly to the consumer for the price of $1 per pound.
But the grocery store sells sugar for 35 cents a pound.
And it doesn't have nails and broken glass in it.
Those are prizes!
I don't think the consumers will appreciate a prize in the form of shredded glass in the esophagus. The next day, Homer ventures on his business going door to door selling sugar. But it doesn't really go as he'd hoped for.
I can do as I wish. Excuse me. Thanks a lot, Simpson. Now I'm grounded.
Well, of course the business won't flower when you start at the Skinner house. When he came home, he told Marge that he did earn some money, contrary to what she said.
I found $1 while I was waiting for the bus.
And how much did you lose by not going to work?
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! A 4-day weekend!
I don't think he realizes how things work. Homer got so obsessed with the sugar that he was sitting outside the whole night guarding it.
You're being completely paranoid.
Oh, am I? Am I really? Aha!
That's what stealing does to you. You get paranoid that people are going to be stealing from you. Marge asks Homer when he's going to give up the crazy sugar scheme, and he tells her he won't.
I can't live the button-down life like you. I want it all. The terrifying lows, the dizzying highs.
He wants that with $500? But then the bees start swarming the sugar, and he won't possibly try to stop them.
Bad bees! Bad! Ow! Ow! Oh, they're defending themselves somehow.
I stand corrected. Meanwhile, 2 beekeepers noticed that their bees were missing, so they went to find them, and...
Oh, very clever, Simpson. Luring our bees to your sugar pile and then selling them back to us at an inflated price.
Talk in a simpler manner, I don't think Homer quite understood. They say that they're willing to pay him $2,000 for them, but then it started raining and the bees left.
No! My sugar is melting! Melting! Oh, what a world!
Yes, a world where you can't get rich by stealing. Homer tells Marge that he has learned his lesson.
A mountain of sugar is too much for one man. It's clear now why God portions it out in those tiny packets.
Yes, everything is perfectly clear now. It's not surprising to see Bart grow up and become obsessed with money when this is how his father behaved. Bart gets a job as a caddy, but Marge is afraid he's losing himself in the process. Wide Goals opens with Bart and his friends finding out there's a giant golf course in the middle of Springfield. They see Jimbo is working as a caddy there, and basically all he does is suck up to the rich people, and they tip him well.
We'd like jobs, please.
Well, you seem a little young, but I do need the help.
You ever heard of child labor laws? Bart starts working as a caddy, and he quickly learns that he's really good at sucking up the people.
Well, this is it, the moment of truth. Did I kiss enough butt? Only money will tell.
Well, it's safe to say Bart has sold his personality. Homer, of course, is super proud of Bart and supports him completely in his new job endeavors.
Nice starter wad. You want to see what I'm rolling with?
Now, where exactly did Homer get that money? Bart takes his wad to see how it feels in his hands, but the rubber breaks and the truth is revealed.
You pad your wad?
I'm not the father you thought you married.
He said those two sentences so many times, he's just mixing them up now. The next day, Marge went to see Bart at his new job, and she saw him sucking up to Rich Texan. She asked him if he kissed all the golfers' butts like that, and he said,
"Oh, Mom, these rich guys expect a little in exchange for some
Well, what did she think he was doing? Marge is kind of disgusted by this, but Bart doesn't care because that's just the way things are. Marge talked to Homer about what Bart was doing, and Homer didn't seem to have a problem with it. He told her that sucking up is the American way. Homer said that in this country, everyone just got together and decided that.
All the money should belong to a few dozen families and their favorite suck-ups.
So basically, Marge has her country to thank for her son's awful behavior. Homer went on to say that people are paying their son in cash and they should be happy.
And of all the things that Bart might do for money, this is by far the most legal.
I know it's bad that he doesn't seem to mind this at all, but he is right about that last part. Marge asks Homer to back her up and tell Bart he has to quit, so Homer listens to her.
How much did Mom give you to tell me that?
Nothing?
Well, I can do better than that.
Bart pulled out $20 and gave it to Homer.
Well, I guess I can tell her I did my best.
Tell her you did your very best.
Now this is really concerning behavior. Marge can't sit still and let her son suck up the people, so she decides to shut down the club by making a petition. She tries to name it Stop Coddling the Springfield Junipers Wealthy, but since it was too long, she named it
Stop Coddling the SJWs and Post. I wonder if that headline will get any attention.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Marge's petition gets over 1 million signatures. Bart can't believe what Marge has done, and he tells her he doesn't understand how she could ruin something that he's good at.
You don't know what it's like to bring something into this world, watch it grow, and worry about it day and night.
Now that's getting sick. The president of the golf club tells Bart that he ain't getting anything from him since his mom is trying to shut down the club. Bart tells him he doesn't know how to get his mom to back down.
Why are charities and churches the only ones that don't have to pay taxes?
Bart said that the club is a way better place than any church. You don't have to tell him twice. The president makes the golf club a church, a place of worship. So,
like all religions, golf will be completely tax exempt, adhering to the core American credo.
Wow, nobody could have seen this coming. Marge calls up representatives of all religions to see what the club is doing, but in doing so, they all agreed that
congregants, scripture, prayer, looks like a house of worship to me.
What has religion come to? Marge tells Bart that she has always admired that he never needed anyone's approval, and that she's worried he's going to lose that.
Promise me these golf people won't take away my special little guy?
This made Bart think, but he still wouldn't quit the job, until the president told him he didn't need him anymore.
Him? But my religion idea saved the club!
Welcome to the real world, Bart. Bart quits the job, but he won't rest until he gets his revenge, so... Oh, he's mad. Bart and his friends completely ruined the golf course, but Bilford didn't care much for it because it could be replaced. Then the police came and everyone thought they were going to arrest Bart, until...
And like every new religion, sooner or later, it turns into a sex cult.
I definitely did not see that coming. It's no wonder Bart acts out so much, because Homer and Marge literally take turns not believing in him. Grandpa gives Bart his old watch as a token of him believing in Bart, which makes Homer jealous. A father's watch opens with Marge being worried about Bart and his grades. She tells Homer that everything she's tried has failed, and she looks up some parenting professionals online. A woman comes to Springfield and holds a lecture about parenting. She says that positive reinforcement is the way to go.
Low self-esteem can cripple your child's chances of success. The cure? Praise.
Yes, but it has to be more than that, right?
Certificates, ribbons, and yes, even trophies.
I already see this ending badly. Marge says that trophies are just what Bart needs, and that's what's gonna save him. Homer doesn't really agree with this because he doesn't think Bart has done anything worth a trophy.
He's my son, and he's getting a trophy for nothing. You hear me? For nothing.
Great parenting, Marge. Just great. Homer realizes he can make money off of gullible parents, so he opens a trophy shop.
I thought you agreed that trophies should be earned.
I'm earning nature's trophy. Money.
He'll never change. Homer even put Bart to work as the trophy assembler, but he didn't really care for the job, so he glued the trophies with bubble gum.
See, giving him trophies did nothing. You've showered him with praise, and he's just as lazy as ever.
Well, you could at least keep your voice down while you trash talk your son. But Marge didn't want to stop praising him because she wanted to strengthen his confidence.
He was born a screw-up, and no matter how hard he tries, which he never will, Bart will always be a screw-up.
Wow, Homer, do you have anything more to add to that list of insults? Bart heard everything and went to talk to Grandpa, who told him Homer is that way because he was a bad father to him, like his father was bad to Abe.
I'll never escape being a loser.
That's loser talk! You're a great kid, and I'm gonna prove it to you.
I will ask this every time, but why couldn't he be more like that with Homer? Abe gives Bart a pocket watch that has been a Simpson heirloom for years, and he told Bart that he should know how special he is. Bart says he feels weird.
It's called pride. Every tick will remind you you've got a grandpa who believes in you.
How sweet. Bart shows Homer what Grandpa gave to him, and he told him that he said he earned it.
I guess someone in this family's proud of me. Oh, you didn't want it, did you?
Now you're just continuing the cycle of violence. Bart knew how much Homer wanted to inherit that watch, so he rubbed it in his face for a little while longer. And I have to say it, Bart really changed his behavior since having the watch. But then he dropped it off a cliff and he couldn't find it.
Okay, Millhouse, I'll drop a rock. You watch it come down. That should be where Grandpa's watch landed.
Who thought of that stupid idea? Homer had to sell all his trophies because a new parenting expert said that another method was the right one. When he went to the pawn shop, he found Grandpa's watch. He asked the guy working there how he got it, and he said that a kid brought it in.
Said he was mad at his friend for dropping so many rocks in his eye.
It's no problem, I'll say it again. Millhouse is the worst friend ever. Homer buys the watch and goes home to revel in the fact that he's got the watch now, but then he hears Bart crying in the room. He was talking to Santa's little helper, and he said that Grandpa was the only person who believed in him.
But when he finds out I lost the watch, even he'll give up.
Come on, Homer, be the adult. Homer fought all urges to rub it in Bart's face, but instead he just walked in and showed him what he found. Bart said he didn't want it because he didn't earn it.
I am a screw-up.
Homer asked who screwed him up, and Bart realized.
You! It was you!
And those who came before.
And both of you have a way to stop the cycle, but ultimately, you do nothing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to let me know your worst Homer and Bart's moments.